It's going out to all them girls out there that did me a South wrong. You know? Tell y'all a little story. It's the reason. What you think, huh?
All right, I'm gonna jump straight into this, man. What's called this Lil Young Swisher House, man. Our guest for the day is the big homie, you know what I'm saying? Orlando's finest, you know what I'm saying? Early 2000s. This man was blowing up, doing his thing, you know, really representing, really put Orlando on the map. SouthStar, one half of the duo, SMILEZ and SouthStar. What's up, brother?
What's up, everybody, man? How you doing, my brother?
Oh man, another day is beautiful out here in Texas, out here in H-Town. The weather's nice, you know, it's usually really hot out here, so we got a nice day, so I'm enjoying it.
Love H-Town, man. Houston like a second home for me, man.
Definitely, definitely. What's that hat say? I just kind of see that hat. What's that hat say?
Oh, it's the 106 and Park joint. Someone had sent it to us.
Okay. That's what
Had
I'm
to throw it
talking
back,
about.
man, and represent, man.
Early 2000s. I mean, this came out of like, I'm not gonna say nowhere, but I mean, it just came. Like this project,
Yep.
it was just on BET. I remember the commercials for it. I mean, like it was just boom. So talk about that. So, and I know Dakari, right? He was the producer. He was known more for producing like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and stuff like that. That was like his forte.
Yep.
Sold millions, you know, great hit producer. So
Yeah.
how did that come about with his transition to say, hey, I want to put together a duo and put together this group and get it on Transcontinental? How did that come about?
You know, me and SMILEZ were both kind of solo artists in Orlando at the time, just on the underground scene, kind of just, you know, doing battles or opening up for whoever was coming through the city, just anytime you get to perform. So we kind of knew each other, always wanted to work together, but you know, studio access wasn't exactly as easy as it is today back then. So we never had got the chance. And Dakari happened to live in an apartment complex that I lived in at the time. And we used to always hoop in this basketball gym that was in the complex. So that's actually how I knew Dakari, from just playing basketball. And one day we just happened to be in there playing basketball. I was telling a buddy about a story about a show I had just did, and he kind of overheard and was kind of like, you know, hey, what do you do? Like, you do music, or what are you, a producer or something? And I was like, nah, I rap. And he's like, oh, for real? Like, you know, of course, looking at me kind of like, for real, you rap? Like, and he was like, yo, like spit something, you know what I'm saying? So like, I was like, right now in the gym, I was like, all right. So we just kind of, I just spit him like a verse real quick. And he was like, yo, that's dope. He said, hey man, when we're done hooping, come with me. I want to play you something. Didn't really say nothing much. So, you know, we kept playing basketball, finished our games, whatever, just kind of pick up games. And then after, I went out to the car with him, and he started playing me these beats, man. And he was like, yeah, you know, and then he started telling me what he do. Because at the time, I didn't even know what he did. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, yeah, you know, I'm an in-house producer at Transcontinental Records. You know, if you're from Orlando back in the early 2000s, back then, everybody knows Transcon, right? Because of Backstreet, NSYNC, you know, all the groups that have come through there. Everybody knew about the studio. It wasn't like a studio you could just go book. You know, you kind of had to get an in there. And Dakar was just like, yo, man, I want you to come by tomorrow, if you can, tomorrow around 5 o'clock. I'm gonna get you in the studio with another guy that I know named SMILEZ. And I was like, oh, I know SMILEZ, you know, like me and cool, I always want to work. He's like, perfect, man, come through. And then there was actually a third guy he had invited. I forget his name, but he was like, you know, so-and-so, I'm gonna invite him out too. And just do records, basically. It wasn't about a group, it wasn't about a project or nothing, just kind of get in the studio, do records, you know what I'm saying? So me and SMILEZ, like I said, we already had some kind of like chemistry because we knew each other. So when we seen each other, we was like, what's up, man? And basically the first night we went in there, he threw this beat on and left us in the room, and we wrote our verses. You know what I'm saying? The hook was already on the record. And then he went in another room and started just making another beat. And he came back and was like, that song was done. And he was like, yo, here's another beat. Work on it. Do this one. And so we started basically coming back every night, you know, like and I'm talking like we be in there from like 5 to like 4 or 5 in the morning, you know, just late night when everybody else is done with their stuff, and Dakari can kind of do his own thing. And that's really how it started, man. Me and SMILEZ showed up. The third guy didn't come that day. Next thing you know, we like 8 records in, and we just kept recording. And the next thing you know, we like, oh man, I guess we're gonna do this group thing, you know. And it really, like I said, just started very organically, just getting in the studio, just kind of collaborating, just kind of see what we come up with, man. But you know,
I feel like it was a great duo for that time, like, you know, for that early 2000s and the sound that y'all gave. Like me personally, I remember Tell Me, I remember Who Wants This. Like I feel like Who Wants This was that the first single that came out?
Yeah, Who Wants This was the first single.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that was
yes.
like the first single that we started working.